Hey everyone, I'm Nick and welcome to the channel. Now if you've watched my videos before, you probably already know I really like having Android Auto and Apple Carplay in my vehicles. Now to get those features, there's a couple of ways of doing it. You can get a newer car, but you probably already like the car you have and you don't want to replace it. You can install a custom head unit, which can be pretty involved and depending on the car, might even be impossible. And then another method is to get a universal Android Auto and Apple Carplay interface. Now this is a MINIX CP89-HD. MINIX sent this to me to check out. It's brand new, and if you haven't heard of MINIX before, they're pretty well known in the mini PC segment, so I'm really interested to see how their experience there transfers over to the automotive infotainment segment. So let's check it out. Alright, let's see what's in here. Already nice packaging. See, this looks really sleek. It's an 8.9-inch screen and feels really compact. Feels really sturdy, very nice. So far, very good. So you got this. I'll just put this in here for now. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, this is all the mounting stuff. We got some cables, a braided aux cable. We've got, this is a 12-volt power adapter with USB-C, an on-off switch, and USB pass-through, so if you want to charge something else at the same time, you're not taking up your plug. We've got a little adhesive base, which can be used with the suction cup arm mount. I think this is, it has one of the tacky ones, which will be very useful. Extends too. This is a combination suction cup and tacky base, which you can pair with this if you don't have the right kind of surface in your car or you don't want this to go directly on your dash. We have a short mount with a spare adhesive, the ball mount. That's pretty cool. Should just loosen that. Then we have this, which is a magnetic attachment for the unit that will mount to either this mount or this one. You can see on the back we have little grooves, and that way it'll snap in the same place every time. That's a good strong magnet, should work really well. So this is an 8.9-inch screen with a resolution of 1920 by 720. And what's really cool about it is it's a 60 Hertz refresh rate, so 60 FPS, which should make everything really smooth when you're using it. Now if we check out the back, we've got a button that'll toggle the screen on and off, and then we have our ports right here. So we have our power port, which is USB-C, our audio output, a video camera input if you want to set up a backup camera. We've got the microphone, and a USB port as well. You have a couple different options for how you can use this. One is to plug it in using the aux cable into your aux port in your car, or you can connect it via Bluetooth to your car. If you don't have Bluetooth, you can use the built-in FM transmitter to connect to your existing radio. And then the last thing is you can use the built-in speakers. Now to connect your phone, you have two different options. You can connect it wired, so your phone will charge, or if you want to keep it in your pocket or your bag, you can use wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple Carplay. So we'll check that out too. Let's take a quick look ahead of time. I've set up a battery bank, so I can just plug this in and we can go through what the interface looks like. Already the screen is really sharp, which is nice. That's our menu. It looks really good. This right here is the light sensor. So if I block it off, The screen dims. So at night, the screen will dim down, make it easier to see, and during the day, it'll brighten up. Then we have our CarPlay shortcut, Android Auto shortcut, got Bluetooth, so you could set up Auto Connect, what the device name is, and all that. Got our brightness settings, what time is nighttime, choose your wallpaper, check your CarPlay settings, so if you have a right-hand drive car, you can use that, and 60 FPS, so if you want to toggle that off, but we're going to leave it on. Get our full settings menu, so you can change your language, set up your time, device information, the radio settings, so this is for when you want to use the FM transmitter. You can toggle it on and choose which frequency you want to use. You're going to want to choose that based on where you live. Somewhere there's no radio channel, so you get a clear signal to your car. And then right here is your dual Bluetooth, so you can set it up so that if your phone is connected to your car and this, it'll only send the image to here and all the audio will go to your car, so you could toggle that on for that. Going through the settings, we've already gone through this. Sound, you can adjust if you want your navigation to be quieter, your phone calls to be quieter, or the media. Found the MINIX on my Android phone. Okay, all the speakers work, that's good. Now the button on the back here will display, you can shut it off, you can reboot, you can turn the screen off, and if you tap it, it turns back on. So yeah. Now with the main interface covered, let's go test it out in the car. Now you may recognize this truck as my supercharged Range Rover. I haven't driven it on the road in the Rebuild series, so this is a little bit of a teaser. Now my radio screen was damaged under previous ownership, so the touchscreen doesn't work. But that's not really a problem because it doesn't have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay anyway. I'm thinking we're gonna try to install this around here. So I'm gonna peel the backing off this, put it aside. So we need a flat surface to mount our suction type mount. Maybe I could put it on the dash here. Pop the tab down. That feels secure. This will be angled towards me a little bit. Let's snap that on. We'll plug in the power here. Snapped in. Just gotta tighten this up a little. Tighten that up. There we go. Plug this in. There we go. Okay. I'm going to use the iPhone this time. CarPlay connecting. Once I found it on here, we connected on my phone. Do you want to use MINIX? Yes. Use CarPlay. I'll load it up. Ooh, that looks really smooth. That is super smooth. That's really smooth. Nice and crisp resolution. Looks good. Now that the unit is connected to my phone, I'm turning on dual Bluetooth so my phone will connect to the CP89-HD for CarPlay and to the car for audio. After changing that setting, the unit will reboot and it'll drop you right back into where you were in CarPlay. Oh, it jumped right in. So this is set up right now. My iPhone is connected to the CP89-HD for wireless CarPlay with 60 frames per second, which is really smooth. And then it's also connected to the Bluetooth system in this truck. So I get good audio. All right, let's get on the road and I'll pop back into navigation in a little bit. I gotta say, the screen is really crisp and nice and bright, so I'm really enjoying it. Then we turn the car off. That shuts down too. It was nice and sturdy during the trip too, so that was good. So No excessive wobbling. Nice and clear. It was great. Let's see. Turn the car on. Power's on. And auto connecting. Awesome. Yeah, so I didn't even take my phone out of my pocket. It just goes right in, and we're ready to go. Now let's say you don't want to leave the unit in your car. You can just pop it off, put it in your bag, and take it with you. If you want to, you can also remove your mount, and I actually mounted this on my leather dash, and when I pull it off, there's no residue. Now if you want a slightly more permanent mount, you could use this one. You could potentially fit it here, so that would block the vents on this truck, but you get a lot of options with this too. It's a little shorter arm. Could even cover your original radio if that's not working, or something like that. So, really good to have. Now let's go check it out in another vehicle so we can show the rest of the features like the AM, FM, and the aux input. I've got my mount set up in this truck. And snap this back on with a magnet. Here we go, very easy. Plug in our power. Boom. Let's turn off dual Bluetooth because we want this to output the sound because we're going to switch over to aux. And then we'll try the FM also. Pop that in. It's plugged in. There we go. Now it's tied in directly through here. Since this is Apple CarPlay, you can use voice commands to control your music, make calls, and other things like that, so you don't have to take your hands off the wheel. Just a heads up, I'm going to use Siri right now to show you. Hey Siri, pause. Hey Siri, resume. All right, cool. Now that works. But what if your car is a little older and doesn't have an aux input? Let's take this stuff out. Now let's say you've connected your phone and you remembered, hey, my car doesn't have an aux input. So we go to FM. Now what you want to do here is choose an empty FM channel on the car and select that same channel on the unit. There we go. So that is another option. Now if you have an Android phone, the process is almost identical. You connect it via Bluetooth and it'll automatically jump into Android Auto. Has to pair, Android Auto connecting automatically. So yeah, same thing, you can just pop in using this button instead, and you get all your apps, all your favorite apps. So it's great. And then the last option, if you're driving somewhere and something happens and your sound system breaks, well, you got some built-in speakers. So if you're in a situation where you can't use the car speakers, maybe you're in an old classic car, or you bought a car that's had the sound system ripped out, you can play it on here. You can get into the sound settings here. You can turn it down in there. So there we go. So what do I think of it? Well, I'm really impressed. The screen's really nice. It's nice and crisp. The high refresh rate is something that really surprised me. It really makes a big difference. So that was really nice. And it's nice and bright. I like the form factor a lot. It's really sleek, feels really high quality, and the magnetic mount is really cool. Like, you don't have to worry about snapping anything in, you just have to hold it, pull it off, and you snap it on, it'll be in the same position as before. You have a lot of options of how to connect it and how to use it. You can mount it in a more permanent way or a very temporary way, so if you want to move it from car to car, you definitely can. You know, it's not tied to your car, so if you change cars, you can bring it with you, go on a road trip with some friends. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are also really nice features. You can just get in your car, turn it on, your phone's still in your pocket, it automatically connects, and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about tinkering with any screen. You can use your voice commands to start play music, pick up calls, send messages, and yeah, it's definitely a nice upgrade. So if you want to get one of these for your car, I'll leave a link in the video description. And I want to thank MINIX again for sending me this unit, because it's been really enjoyable testing it out. I just want to make a quick note here. MINIX sent this to me pre-release, so I'll be adding a direct link to buy it as soon as it's available. I'll also leave a link to MINIX's website so you can check out what else they have to offer. If you want to see more content on the 2 trucks I tested this unit out in, check out my channel, because I did 2 full rebuilds on them, and there's a lot more content on the way and that I've already done. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.